Hello again. It is still Halloween time and we're almost there. A few more days to Halloween. Are you ready for that big giveaway at 9? Yeah, we're talking about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch, a retro view here on Horror and Coffee. Hello, everyone. I'm your host, Ralph Perez. If you like what you see here, please consider subscribing. Tap on that subscribe button. Tap on that bell button for future notifications for future horror and coffee content. How can I not talk about Halloween 3 Season of the Witch? This is highly one of the most underrated horror films in all of cinematic history. I mean, look, I was in junior high school when this movie came out. It came out in 1982. It was produced by John Carpenter and Deborah Hill, and they kind of wanted to change it up a little bit. After the events of Halloween 2 in 1980, it was John Carpenter's intention to put an end to the whole Michael Myers thing. Of course, Hollywood wanted to milk it, so milking it went. But with Halloween 3, Season of the Witch, it was supposed to be a different kind of story. Kind of like The Twilight Zone. Every story is different. I think that was what John Carpenter intended on doing. It didn't end up going that way, but it produced, nonetheless, an incredible story that came out in 1982 in movie theaters. Pissed a lot of people off. Because people were like, where's Michael Myers? I don't see Michael Myers, because there was no Michael Myers. Oh, sure, he was in the TV spot right before the big giveaway at 9, when they were showing a scene from the original 1978 classic of Halloween, but that was about it. It wasn't about him at all. So the story is actually about this guy, this doctor, Dr. Chalice, played by Tom Atkins, and he, this man comes into his hospital clutching onto one of these masks. Hold up. One of these masks. Losing his mind, right? Like really flipping out, saying they're gonna kill us all. They're coming to get us all. They thought he was nuts. Then later on, he gets killed in his hospital bed. Dr. Chalice knows that there's something very strange going on. So later on, he hooks up with the man's daughter, and her name is Ellie, and they go to investigate. They go to Santa Mira, where the factory where these are made, because obviously there's a link between her father's death and that, because her father's business purchased these masks. There they come across the businessman Connell Cochran, owner of the factory of Silver Shamrock masks, and they're also in charge of other things like toys and cool, other cool gadgets and stuff like that. Crazy stuff. As the movie eventually turns out, it becomes clear that there was a dark, sinister plot to play the biggest trick of all, the trick on the children, on a nationwide level at 9 p.m. during the big giveaway. Halloween, everybody's wearing these masks. There's a pumpkin mask, there's a skull mask, there's a witch mask, and they were supposed to wear these masks in front of the TV to watch the magic pumpkin at 9 o'clock. We're talking about mass genocide. In the movie, you see an example of what would happen to millions at the same time. Now, what's funny is that if I can say, it's centered around this, what they put in the back of the buttons here. Right, the Silver Shamrock buttons, right? And apparently there's something in the button, okay? Something, a piece of stone, a piece of crystal or stone or mineral taken from the famous Stonehenge stone, apparently. And you see it in the movie. There's a news report talking about how, hey, one of the Stonehenge stones are missing. Nobody knows where they went, and even Connell Cochran, when he unveils his sinister plan to Dr. Chalice, tells him, you won't believe how we got this thing here. I would still have loved to have known how they got that there, because you just don't take a big thing like that and secretly get it across the continent, across the ocean from England, because it's in England, the Stonehenge, and you take it all the way to freaking California, Santa Mira, California, so what they're doing is you're seeing the robots, because they're robots, they're not real humans. They're chipping away at the stone to put these little bits of the stone, because it has this evil, sinister power, right? And they put it in the freaking in the thingy, the mask itself is useless, but the button is what does it. You wear the mask, and then that's it. You know what I mean? It's gonna be bad. I mean, Stonehenge was constructed in reality around 2 to 3,000 years ago, and its origins are still unknown. It's more. They think it tends to be like a astronomical observatory where they was able to predict the seasons and the changing of the seasons, which in essence led to the whole idea that it was a place where the druids used to worship. Some people thought they did human sacrifices there. I mean, there's so many theories about what Stonehenge really was about. It's all over the place, but it serves as a good. I thought it was a cool concept, a cool idea to add to the movie because it helps explain why this is happening and why this guy's nuts. Now, like I said earlier, the relationship between Dr. Chalice and Ellie, the daughter of the guy that gets killed in the beginning, they're trying to investigate what happened. So they go to Santa Maria, they go to the factory, they try to get to the bottom of this, and then they start being together. Strange husband. He's divorced. His ex-wife is, it's funny enough, played by Nancy Loomis, who played Annie in the original, Halloween. I thought the romantic bloom relationship between Dr. Chalice and Ellie was a little too rushed, in my opinion. I mean, with a movie like this, you would expect it because it's kind of like, all right, they want to get to the bottom of this, but now they're doing the wee ha-ha in the hotel like multiple times a night while the lady next door gets killed for playing around with one of the buttons. If you see that scene, it looks like a big laser shoots out of the button and shoots her in the mouth and totally incinerates her face and stuff like that. It actually looks like a lightsaber or something. Here's another piece of trivia. In the scene where you hear an announcement being announced throughout the town of Santa Mira, because there's a curfew. Everything shuts down. Everybody has to be in their homes after a certain time. In the hotels, in the houses, in the businesses. Everything's shut down after a certain time. You hear this woman's voice. You know who that is? Jamie Lee Curtis. Seriously, that's pretty cool. I didn't know that. I found that out not too long ago, and I was like, really? Cool, man. All right, keeping it in the family. I like that. Here's another thing, if some of you don't know. The assassin droid that comes and kills the guy in the beginning, Ellie's father. Like, he rips his freaking skull open, and then he goes outside, douses himself with gasoline, blows himself up. That assassin guy. And there's a few more of them. There are other copies of this because they're robots, so you can make the same copies of the same thing. That's Dick Warlock. You know who Dick Warlock is? He played Michael Myers in Halloween 2, a la 1980. It's like if you see how he moves and walks, and then you see how he moves and walks in Halloween 3, as the robot, you could see there's a similar mannerism there. I watched it very closely. I'm like, oh yeah, that's Dick Warlock, all right. Yeah, that's Michael Myers, all right. So for those of you who are like, oh, there's no Michael Myers in there, in a way, there kind of was, if you want to really get technical about it. I wouldn't hold it against you if you still beef about that. The music was by John Carpenter himself, the master, and Alan Howarth. They both collaborated. I bought the soundtrack on vinyl. I did a whole vinyl video a long time ago. I'll post it right here so you can check it out at some point, where I talk about this. And that whole vinyl record is amazing. My favorite track from the soundtrack is this track called Chariots of Pumpkins. And it sounds so cool. It sounds scary. It sounds eerie, but it sounds very... Oh man, it gets your blood racing. It's something you can listen to while driving your car or something. And yet at night. And it's in the very beginning of the movie when the guy is running from the evil Colonel Cochrane robots in the beginning before he gets to the hospital. And, and it's also in the end closing credits. So Halloween 3 is, again, an underrated movie, but an awesome one. And I'm going to give it 3 coffee cups because it may not be the greatest horror film of all time, but it's something I enjoy watching every now and then, especially around this time. I actually put it on my list of top 10 Halloween movies to watch on Halloween night since we're in a pandemic. I'll post that video right here too, so you can check it out. It's weird. It's funky. I get it. There's a lot of whole plot holes that make you go, really? Really? That's not realistic. But then again, it's a movie. It's not supposed to be realistic. Just have fun with it. Take it, take it lightly. Really, just take it lightly because I do. So there it is, Halloween 3, Season of the Witch. What are your thoughts about Halloween Season of the Witch? Talk to me. Comment below and share with me your thoughts on one of the most underrated yet one of the most greatest films to come out of the John Carpenter universe. This is Ralph Perez, Horror and Coffee. Don't forget to see the magic pumpkin blinking. White kids would want to do that at 9 o'clock, just watching a stupid pumpkin blinking for a long time. I have no clue. That's probably the weirdest. All right, never mind. But it's still good. Still a good watch. Have a good night and have a happy Halloween.